असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय.
सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ॐ शान्ति शान्तिः. ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. Good morning. Most of our spoken English students are from agricultural background that I know. I think you are also aware that in the last 20 years in this country, around 3 lakh farmers committed suicide. The reason is the productivity in that field actually is decreasing by the day. The input cost, capital cost has gone up. Farmer ends up in a debt trap. If you just see the last 40, 50 years, the yields have significantly come down. The reason is the soil health has turned from bad to worse. Why soils have depleted so much? Because of excess use of chemical fertilizer. After this, what you call this green revolution, we wanted to achieve sufficiency in food grain production. Most of the countries in the world, particularly India, has a huge population, 1.35 billion population. Earlier, we used to import food grains. So we wanted to stop that imports and we wanted to have self-sufficiency in food grain production. Rather, we want to export. So what we have opted for is, we have opted for this green revolution, where actually high-yielding varieties were invented. But these high-yielding varieties are good. The yields are good, but the input cost has gone up. More fertilizer has to be put. And also, they are not as resilient as the traditional varieties. They are more susceptible to diseases. pests. And to control pests and diseases, you have to use chemical pesticides. So this chemical fertilizer and chemical pesticides not only depleted our soils and also spoiled our environment to a great extent. So it's 3 lakh people committing suicide in 20 years is not a small thing. Every second day you see in our newspapers some farmer committing suicide. It's very sad state of affairs. How can we fix that? How can we rectify this? I don't know whether you are aware of it or not. Isha Foundation founder Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev has started a campaign, Save Soil campaign, that is Save Soil campaign. We need to support such ecological initiatives, such campaigns, because today what we are eating is the next generation's food, the food of the unborn baby. It's a crime that we are committing against the future generations. If you deplete the soil that we are doing, okay, our generation will survive, but the next generation will not be able to produce anything from this soil. They won't be able to grow food. You have made soil barren. Already, because of excess use of this chemical fertilizer, large tracts of soil have turned alkaline and saline. Right? You can't grow anything on alkaline and saline soils. The soil has become barren. And it takes millions of years for nature, okay, to build, to develop soil. If you remove organic content from the soil, it becomes sand. It becomes desert. All over the world, actually, deserts are spreading fast. In the Saharan desert, actually, it is almost 3.5 times or 4 times the size of India. Such a huge desert. India is a big country, 4 times the size of India, the Sahara desert, and that's also spreading fast. In India, we have only one desert. What is that? Where is the desert in India? Yes, Thar Desert in Rajasthan. That is also spreading eastward. Right? China has 2 deserts, Taklamakan and Gobi. Australia, Central Asia, Australia is a huge desert, and these deserts are also spreading. That means actually they will cover the agricultural lands with sand, and agricultural lands will become less productive further. And we have to stop this desertification and we have to protect the soil. How we can do that? You have to see that actually soil contains a lot of organic matter. Today, when we talk about water, we think actually rivers, tanks, and lakes they store water. But water needs to be stored in soil. If there is organic content in the soil will retain water, soil will retain moisture. Okay? That's the best place to store water. Soil is the best place to store water, not actually lake or river. Rivers actually simply flow into the ocean. But if you store water in soil, you can retrieve at any time. So when there is moisture, when there is organic content, the humus content in the soil will improve. That will improve the texture of the soil. Soil is not an inert thing, but unfortunately in the West, most of the scientists and most of the people have believed till recently that soil is an inert thing, jada padartha, but it's not jada. There are billions and billions of bacteria. Just 4 or 5 inches of soil, top soil. If there is humus is there, if there is moisture is there, billions of bacteria. So much of activity is going on. In fact, this is 4 or 5 inches of the soil that helps the crop. Crop plant doesn't go deep into the soil. Just 4 to 5 inches of the top soil only that gives us food. All crop plant, the root, how much wheat or actually rice, it only will go into 3 inches or 4 inches deep. And that 3 inches or 4 inches deep, the top soil actually is providing us food. But the top soil has eroded to a significant extent. Even in America, 30% of the top soil has gone away. And that is the reason agricultural productivity is coming down by the year. And that's why farmers are committing suicide, because I need to put more fertilizer to get the yield. Fertilizer input has gone up means capital cost has gone up, and then I will incur debt. And of course, our Prime Minister also is promoting now the zero budget agriculture. Traditional agriculture in India is a zero budget agriculture. We used to keep buffaloes, we used to keep cows, and that of that manure actually we'll put on the soil. No fertilizer input cost as such. Seed also actually from the previous crop, we collect something and we preserve and keep it. There's no seed input cost, there's no fertilizer input cost. It's almost zero budget agriculture. From the zero budget agriculture to, because of this commercial crop and other things, now the capital cost has gone up to such an extent. The yields are not commensurate with the capital input, and that's the reason farmers are committing suicide, and agriculture is not more a profitable profession. That's the reason people are migrating to cities. In the next actually 10 years, I think 1.2 to 1.3 billion people are likely to be migrated to cities, urban areas, where people are leaving rural areas. In India also same thing is happening. And those who are settled in towns and those who do not have rural roots, okay, they will stay only in towns and cities. Anyway, they cannot go back because they don't have rural connection. They don't have any soil or land back at home. But those who are from agricultural families, particularly youth of this country, should go back and actually change the situation over there. They have conducted, the Isha Foundation has conducted a survey in India, and what percentage of farmers they want their children also to become farmers. Do you know the percentage? 2%. That means 98% of the farmers, they don't want their children to become farmers. That means what? Nobody wants to become a farmer. Everybody wants to become a lawyer, doctor, chartered accountant. Fine. Then who will grow food? Right? There is nobody, no young person is there in village. Nobody wants to stay in village. Nobody wants to take up agriculture. Then who will grow food? We sit in front of the computer. Computer will give us food. The food is a basic need, right? Basic requirement. Yes, we have to go back to villages and we have to transform the villages. We have to make agriculture more productive. Only young people can do that by adopting the latest technologies, latest knowledge that is available, and also soil health has to be maintained. For that, we need dairy, we need cattle. Without that, soil health cannot be maintained. Without maintaining the soil health, agriculture can never be remunerative. Agriculture can never be commercially viable. And because it's not commercially viable, actually, input cost is more than the output that you get from agriculture, people won't take it up. But you have to think seriously. It's a crisis. That's the reason this Sadhguru has started this program, the Save Soil. So he's traveling across the globe on motorcycle. In 100 days, he wants to travel 30,000 kilometers. You can just search in YouTube what is the Save Soil Movement, Save Soil program. It's an ecological disaster, that's an impending disaster, and we have to act. We can't just afford to sleep. It's a disaster just unfolding. The ecological problems are not small problems. If you have to survive, the humanity has to be there on planet Earth for a long period to come. The next generations, if you don't want them to curse us, we have to act now. Otherwise, we'll regret. There will be problem and everybody will weep and wail. It's not the solution, right? If we are really wise and educated human beings, we should be able to foresee the tomorrow's problem. No, 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 when problem comes, I will handle. You cannot handle it like that. You should be able to foresee the problem and you have to act now. It's our responsibility. If you want actually the next generation also to live well in this planet Earth, India is not a small country with 1.35 billion population. Providing food security to this nation actually is the responsibility of every citizen of the country. Anyway, our generation is over actually, but your generation has to take up this problem because your kids have to survive on this planet Earth. And for that, at least we need to think and we need to act and we need to do what we can do now. Otherwise, it becomes too late afterwards if we act. So it's a big problem, and of course, a single man, but he's doing wonderful work. I mean, generating awareness across the globe is not a small thing. It's a great initiative. We all need to support, and such movements deserve our sympathies and cooperation. Thank you. Nice day.